For the German Bundestag, difficult times might be ahead.
I had to get a live view in.
Well, difficult times lying ahead, and to help us understand the political situation, I'm joined now by DW's political correspondent, Simon Young. Simon, we were talking during that piece because there's just so much to dig into. How much room does Merkel have to maneuver here?
Well, she's under a hell of a lot of pressure because there's the expectation that she might be able to form a Jamaica coalition. This is this unprecedented coalition with Free Democrats and Greens. It's been tried at regional level here and is working quite well in Schleswig-Holstein, but at national level it'd be something very new, very difficult to put together because those two smaller parties are, there's a lot of blue sky between them in terms of policy, particularly on things like Europe, on migration, on tax cuts for businesses and that. But it's also a problem because, of course, Angela Merkel's party has sort of two parts. There's her Christian Democrats and the Bavarian Conservatives, and they're saying they want to push to the right, in particular on the immigration question, have a much clearer, tougher policy, in particular also to deal with the rise of the far right. And so she's kind of under pressure from all sides. It's going to make it extremely difficult to put together a coalition in these circumstances. And don't forget, her party has just brought in the worst result it's had since 1949. So there's a real expectation that Merkel has to do something to get her party and her country out of a crisis.
Merkel has to do something, and something she could do is try to win back the Social Democrats as a coalition partner. Now, their leader, Martin Schulz, said he's not interested in a coalition, but could Merkel possibly entice him to rethink things?
Well, you can never say never. I mean, Martin Schulz has been very clear right from just a few minutes after the results were announced on Sunday night that, opposition is the place for him. He says the continuation of the grand coalition of Christian Democrats and Social Democrats is not right for the country. It doesn't take things forward. There hasn't been enough of the kind of policies that he would like to see over the last 4 years. And that's why he says opposition is the right place for his party to be. They can regenerate and get back in touch with their base. Of course, it's very important for them to do that because they've had a very bad result as well. What will happen down the line if this Jamaica coalition doesn't happen? I think it's possible that rather than go back to new elections, people will say the Social Democrats, in the interests of the country, must come together and form some sort of unity government, in particular, again, to deal with this question of the rising far right that we've seen.
All right, let's talk about that rising far right. 2 days ago, they were riding high, taking almost 13% of the vote. Today, their co-leader, Frauke Petry, left the party. How much turmoil is there behind the scenes, and how is that going to affect their ability to be effective in Parliament?
Yeah, I'm questioning how much turmoil it really means, because this was not an entirely unexpected turn of events. Admittedly, the way it played out with Frauke Petry suddenly announcing in the middle of a press conference...
And walking out.
Exactly, that she's not going to join the parliamentary group. Today, she's left the party. That was really the logical next step for her. Several other people from around the country, from the AFD organisations across the country, have also withdrawn. But I think most of the parliamentary party is solid, and they're solid behind the leadership today.
All right, there's plenty to watch out for in the days and weeks to come. Simon Young, thanks for taking us through some of the points.